I want to get your reaction to the testing situation, first of all, with the White House itself, because we've seen this outbreak of coronavirus in the White House, the vice president's press secretary testing positive, and now others being concerned and self-quarantining, Dr. Fauci among them, because they've been in contact with that. What kind of example does this set to, let's just limit it to office businesses, let's say, big insurance companies, when people want to go back to work, what kind of testing, what kind of protection they need?
Well, Lawrence, it sets a glaring example of how we are so short of testing. If the White House feels that they need everyone in the president's near presence and everyone in the White House tested, what about everyone else? And perhaps the greatest failure of this administration is on testing. The president at that press conference said that they had really met the moment and prevailed. Really? We have so many deaths. We have increased number of diseases. We have people who don't have food, are worried about the roof over their head, and we have prevailed. And the irony for Donald Trump is he's desperate to get us all back working again. But until we have adequate testing, people aren't going to go back to work or go to the restaurants or go to the theaters or anywhere else. And we are way short of what we need. South Korea, at this point in their fight against corona, had about 2 million, had a per capita level that in the United States would be 2 million tests per day. They said we had 300,000 and bragged about it. It's really closer to 250, but it's not even close. I have been calling on the president for 2 months to use the Defense Production Act, to commandeer the factories and the supply chains and get those tests produced. 2 months ago, President Trump said anyone who wants a test can get one. Well, that may be true in the White House. It's hardly true anywhere else. And that is the biggest problem we face. And the huge irony of this is a president who's so desperate to push us to go back to normal doesn't have the ability, decency, honor, strength, competence to give us the tools to allow that to happen, namely testing and contact tracing, which the countries who have succeeded, there are models here. Unfortunately, it's not the United States. There are models as to what works. South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Finland, Singapore, 5 of which, by the way, had women as heads of state. But they knew what to do. Large amounts of testing that worked, accurate testing that worked, and then contact tracing. And their deaths, their disease is diminished. They are going back to work. Donald Trump will never get us back to work unless he starts looking at the truth. And one other point I'd make. Maybe we'll have an opportunity to hear the truth from an administration official tomorrow. Dr. Fauci is testifying before the Senate. We've been pushing McConnell to do hearings, to do oversight, to do what Congress is supposed to do, to prod this administration to do what it seems unable to do. And that is to bring people before us and do tough questioning. Dr. Fauci will have the opportunity to testify for the first time with Donald Trump not lurking over his shoulder. You know what I say to Dr. Fauci? Go for it. Tell us the truth. America needs to hear the truth, and President Trump, your boss, needs to hear the truth.